Hey guys, Chris here from Kite Republic, here today to talk to you about the highly anticipated and really exciting new kite on the market, the Core Pace. Now, Core have obviously been a brand that have shown through their super high quality, massive performance, and each time they bring something out, they're not only just, trying to hit the status quo, they're trying to push and get ahead of the game. They've done that really well over time, and they've shown that they are willing to wait until they are 100% certain that they've got the right product. Now, this particular kite was 99% ready to go before the Aussie summer, so about 6-7 months ago, but they decided they wanted to hold out and just wait on it to tweak a few of the sizes. Look, they've done a phenomenal job. So the Core Pace is their all new 3-strut, big air, free ride, fun, lively, super consistent kite that's really good for a lot of levels, right through from a beginner level through to the highest end of that big air side of things. So really exciting and really out there. It's probably what they've been missing over the last year or two. To have something against, for instance, your, say, Duotone Evo, your Nash Pivot, your North Reach, those 3-strut big air kites that have a huge wind range, but then ultimate performance. So we had the XR8, Core's last really high-end big air kite, the XR8 that was ahead of the game, super good for the lift and where big air was at sort of a year or two ago. Still a super nice kite all round, but on that performance and competition end, the 3 struts have shown they've got that slightly better sort of organic flex to them. They're a little bit sportier and they have the ability to do a bit more without having that sort of weight behind them as well. So for someone that doesn't particularly need a mass of structure, so a heavier rider in super overpowered conditions, for example, the 3 struts are really showing they can hold their own now, and through materials we've seen over the last few years come into the game, they've hit that level where you used to need a 5-strut. Now only a particular rider tends to need that. Now, what does the Pace offer that's ahead of the game? So at this stage, we've had a demo Pace now for a couple of months and had a lot of riders on it, a lot of shop staff on it. And the big thing that everybody comes back with is, if they were riding the 12-meter demo that we had, for example, the big thing is, wow, the power is exceptional. But the biggest thing for me was I felt like I was riding a 10 or felt like they were riding a smaller kite. So the kite itself is a bit livelier than a lot of those competitive kites that are similar to it. It feels sportier in the air and it feels like you can get away with a lot more that otherwise you might have had that slow sort of real pull, whereas the Pace will give you a bit more forgiveness and a bit more playfulness there. We saw the Pace Pro come into the market over the last year as well. That's obviously the Alula version and the really high-end version. And I guess the differences of riding, of who's going to ride the Pace Pro, who's going to ride the Pace, and then will that vary depending on sizes and conditions. And what I'd say to that is, firstly, the Pace Pro is going to be, your sports car version, your Ferrari of kites there. It's going to be super lively. It's not going to have quite the same forgiveness on the body and the rest. It's going to want to kick, it's going to shoot through the window quicker, it's going to have those thinner leading edges, and the frame will be more rigid. So yes, in terms of high end, wanting to do double loops, triple loops, all of that, you're going to be looking towards the Pace Pro. For most riders, they're looking for more consistency through their jumps, and that will actually give more height and overall a better performance than something that's potentially too lively and not as controlled for them. So the Pace is definitely going to have more forgiveness in that side, but it's also going to probably have a little bit more hang time and a little bit more glide to it as well. It's not going to be wanting to shoot through. So what we're seeing, and all the feedback from all the Core team riders in Cape Town this year, was that as soon as they were getting to the bigger sizes and they were wanting to do that really stylish, really fun style of riding, drags or with boosts where they're in the air for longer, if they're wanting to do loops but not necessarily double and triple loops, for example, then they're really loving the feel of the Pace, just because it just has that forgiveness, it has that fun factor, and it'll keep you up there a bit longer as well. So yeah, so that's the breakdown of Pace versus Pace Pro. All right, so as far as the technical side goes, Core have used their all-new Exotex 2 ultra-rigid Dacron through the leading edge. So they've now been able to go a little bit thinner. They've been able to keep it really stiff and to have something that's going to be sportier and more responsive through there as well by using that new Exotex 2. The Cortex 2 triple ripstop is what you'll see through the canopy. So it's got 3 strands running each way on that. So a really strong, really forgiving, not too heavy, but just something that's going to have that responsiveness, and it's going to last really well over time. Now, as far as riding, you'll see it's a really thin material that the bridles are made of, so they're not going to be sluggish or anything like that, but they are thin bridles and there's no pulleys or anything like that. So as far as matching it up with your sensor bar, if you're riding the Core Pace, you'll need to be riding the Sensor 4 or Sensor 4 Pro bar. So those allow a little bit more distance on the safety line, and they allow it to completely flag out. So if you're riding any of the earlier model sensors, then they won't give you the full safety reach on the Pace, and definitely recommended that you need to be going towards the Sensor 4 bar. So as far as overall feedback has been absolutely outstanding. We're really excited to have this kite from Core and feel like it's been missing for a while, but again, it is worth the wait. It is an absolute stellar product and something you'll have a lot of fun with. Massive wind ranges, heaps of hang time, really forgiving and great over a broad range. So one kite that can do everything really well, but on the big air and that free ride fun side, it really excels. If you would like to demo the new Core Pace or just want more information, make sure you hit us up at kiterepublic.com.au. Cheers.